first and foremost, I would just say to anybody, you can get better at it. It's definitely a craft. I just find getting in those different settings, outside of offices, outside of rinks, outside of the kind of the normal day-to-day for these leaders, ends up drawing out a much more compelling conversation. For instance, I wanted to talk to Julien Brisebois, who won a couple Stanley Cups with the Tampa Bay Lightning, and asked him to play pickleball first before we sat down and talked, just to kind of signal to him that we were going to spend a little bit more time, kind of get a feel for what he was like as a competitor, which I learned he's extremely competitive because he mopped the floor with me. And then by the time we sat down for coffee in kind of a more traditional setting, we had a lot of conversations. We'd actually started the interview on the bench next to the pickleball court with the recorder going the whole time. And the same thing happened. Kyle Dubas, we talked in a bookstore, and George McPhee. Our interview basically started at a ring ceremony for the Vegas Golden Knights after they won the Stanley Cup. Second thing I would say, and this is going to sound super basic, but listening is so key. I think sometimes when you're doing interviews, people, they've got their list of questions, they have their notebook out, here's the 25 things I want to get to. They oftentimes miss really smart follow-up questions. And I can tell you, I would scrap 95% of the questions that I had prepared in these conversations for the franchise. Ted Leonsis, the owner of the Washington Capitals, for instance, I had 3 pages of research, and honestly, I'm not sure we got to the third question. It's because when you listen, you end up letting the person you're talking to guide the conversation a bit, and the more you can keep people within the story, get them to elaborate, keep them in the moment, you end up getting vivid details and incredible stories.